Good day, everyone. My name is Veronica Carlson, and I will be your host for this session. I'd like to welcome you to today's World of Fiery webinar. Before we begin our presentation, I will quickly go through our housekeeping items. All participants on teleconference have been muted. If you have any questions during the webinar, please submit these via the chat window. We'll have time to go through questions at the end of our presentation, and we'll do our best to answer many questions as time permits. If we are unable to get to your question, we will make sure to get back to you later via email. We are also recording today's session. A link to this recording will be sent out to you within a few days, so you can listen again or share with colleagues who were unable to join it live. Today's session is Work Fast, Not Hard with Fiery Command WorkStation 6.4. It is my pleasure to introduce our speakers for today. Mike Robinson, Senior Product Line Manager, Lin Wang, Senior Product Line Manager, Giselle de la Moninière, Product Marketing Manager. So let's get started. We start with Mike.
Great, thanks Veronica. Go ahead and get ourselves going here. So what I wanted to talk about today was about the Fiery Command WorkStation package. It's the window into your Fiery server and gives you all of the workflow tools that are helpful to get your job done. Today, we're going to take a look at a few parts of the Command WorkStation package you may not know about that can make your life easier. Today, we're going to look at the advancements we've made into the different applications and products listed here that are part of the Command WorkStation package so that you can start benefiting from them immediately. We'll end with a summary of available resources you can use to find out more about these improvements. The latest Command WorkStation version is always available through the Fiery Software Manager, a utility that runs on your computer and manages the installation. When there is a new version ready, it will tell you, or you can go to EFI.com/CWS to download it directly for free. We have new functionality available in the productivity, color and imaging, management, and connectivity parts of this release of Command WorkStation. This version offers more automation so you can do more with fewer touches, such as with Fiery Health Monitor to keep your Fiery in optimal condition, and Fiery imposes support for offline finishing automation. With Spot Pro, this version improves the Fiery's brand color accuracy. ImageViewer gives you even more powerful capabilities for last-minute changes right before printing. And a highlight of this release is the FreeForm Create VDP creation tool. This free application is a fully visual experience for creating personalized prints. And this Command WorkStation version also includes a version of Fiery Smart Search that gives quick access to the entire online community of Fiery users and other helpful resources. In this slide we have here a snapshot of all of the features in this release, and as you can see there are features in every one of these 4 pillars of innovation. While we present these features, you'll see icons on the right side of the screen that can represent the learning deliverables created by our education team, including how-to guides, the express videos, and e-learning courses. Now, while all of these features that we list here are applicable to Fiery servers driving cut sheet toner devices, the items highlighted in yellow are the ones that are the only ones available for use with the Fiery XF products as well. Now, first, I'd like to walk you through some of the ways you can do things more easily in the Command WorkStation application. While not every improvement is perfect for everyone, we're confident some of the improvements will be a huge help to you. Let me show you how to get to some of these features. From the printing view, there's a new way to check the properties of actively printing jobs. You may notice that job property, and you also may notice that job properties include a significantly improved launch time here. Also in the server pane, there's a new completed view that can show you all of the jobs printed on your Fiery in one single view. And from the job log, we now have a way to be able to pick a particular job and then print the details of just that particular single job log entry. Then from the Manage License screen, let me get this up, in Impose and JobMaster and Compose, we have a way to enter user registration data so that you can recover your license activation code if necessary. And back in the Command Workstation, in the bottom left corner of this window, we have a Fiery Smart Search icon, and this will check a variety of source material to answer your Fiery questions. And then from the right-hand side of the job list, you can launch the Fiery Health Monitor. This is something that will help you check the state of your Fiery, make sure that it's all working as you expect. And then finally, from Preferences, we have the ability to share Command Workstation settings. As so. All right, get back into this presentation. So, based on customer requests, we made sure that in this version of Command Workstation, Job Property launches instantly. This is one of the most common features used in Command Workstation, and we wanted to make sure that using job properties to set your ticketing for your jobs won't hold you back no matter how many times you use it. Also, as a way of making job properties easier to use, we also made sure that the list of the profiles and the ImageViewer curves in job properties are sorted alphabetically, just like the paper catalog entries are. Now, if you want to double-click the job property of a job property settings of a job that's currently printing or about to print, you can open up a read-only version of job properties to resolve that nagging itch in your mind about whether you set the job to stable or not, all while the job is still waiting to print. Now, there's no reason to have to cancel the job to look at the settings anymore. You can view the properties while the job is waiting to print. When we talk with Command Workstation users like you about Command Workstation, we find that there's a lot of capability there that people aren't aware of. So we decided to give you a way to search for an answer to your question directly from within Command Workstation. By clicking that search button at the bottom left of the screen in Command Workstation, we can give you this window to type in your question, and then we'll instantly search for the answers across Command Workstation help documentation, across how-to guides, the Fiery product guide, and the tons of articles, questions, and answers submitted by hundreds of experts on EFI Communities. This is all searchable content that we're constantly updating. But speaking about EFI Communities, if you're not aware of it, this is a great place to find all kinds of information about EFI products. We are constantly adding to the 10,000 articles, questions, and answers you can find there. And there's lots of people that have been using this over the past year, and this is a growing community. But for example, as far as those articles, when our tech support team fields a case, they add the information into Communities so that others can find that information for themselves. It's free to join and is a great way to discuss topics with fellow users. But back into Command Workstation. We introduced the Fiery Health Monitor into Command Workstation because we want your Fiery server to be in the best condition it can be. We know your Fiery server is used constantly and wanted to give you the tools to monitor the Fiery server's behavior and take preventative action where necessary. Command Workstation will tell you if your Fiery is in a green state and is good with no necessary intervention, a yellow state where you can take some actions to improve the Fiery, or in a red state where we recommend you take action to prevent anything undesirable from occurring. In this one, I'm in a yellow state. So also, if you open the Fiery Health Monitor, you'll see a revolving set of best practices we recommend for optimal use of the Fiery. To be specific about what we recommend when using the Fiery Health Monitor, we suggest the Fiery is at its best when all Fiery server software updates are installed, when Archive Manager is enabled to keep your long-term jobs stored in a safe location, you have a system of regularly scheduled backups, Fiery servers have the hard drives have adequate free space, and you've optimized the Fiery's performance by restarting the Fiery server on occasion to run a series of optimization routines. Moving on, we've also added an auto reconnect feature into Command Workstation. In times when there may have been a network problem that interrupted the Command WorkStation to Fiery connection, or if the Fiery had finished a backup and then Command WorkStation lost the connection. Now, Command WorkStation will automatically reconnect to the Fiery server without any user intervention at all. In Command WorkStation, you can now see a new view called Completed that's here in the left-hand server pane in Command WorkStation. If you want to see one list of all jobs that have printed on the Fiery, you want to use the Completed view. The printed queue here may temporarily hold jobs that have printed, but it doesn't show everything that is printed on the Fiery. Some printed jobs could be in the archived or in the held queue, for instance. The Completed view shows them all. But let me show you how this works. Would be an easier way to do this. All right. So I print a job, and this, as I print this, the printed queue increments by 1, and the Completed view increments by 1. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a process job and print this. But this moves back to the held queue. The printed queue will stay the same, but the Completed view will increment by 1, and now the Completed view is showing 2. If I move a job out of and if I go to the printed queue next, move over to the printed queue here, and if I move this job out of the printed queue back into the held queue, you'll see that the printed queue has gone down to 0, but the Completed view still shows number 2. Now with the Completed view, we can see one list of all the jobs on the Fiery that have completed printing, whether the job is currently in the printed, held, or archived queues. It's in addition to the Fiery queues and views to make it easier to manage the jobs that you printed. You can see the held job in the held queue. I have all of these jobs. A lot of people don't know this, but you can always make your own custom views in Command WorkStation, like the Completed view. Whenever you perform an advanced search on jobs in the job list, here I'm making a search based on the actual job title. I can save this particular search. You can see that this is now filtered to only show me the jobs with those names. If I click on a view and I create a new view here based on the same kind of search, you can see that I've created a new view here called M&M. So the held queue has 6 jobs in here, and M&M only has those 4 jobs that are the same as that were the same as the ones for the title itself. Okay. Moving on to other features in Command WorkStation. In cases where you have set up your Command WorkStation with the Fiery servers in your shop and have arranged the columns and views and quick access settings the way you want them and are tired of fending off the jealous looks from your coworkers, you can now export your carefully crafted user environment and share it with all the other Command WorkStation users. Simply open the Preferences in Command WorkStation, select the Export tab from here, and then export your settings in a single file for your coworkers to import into their own Command WorkStation application. It's an easy way to share your carefully crafted user environment across your shop. If you have the need to occasionally print or extract the record of a single printed job from the Fiery, now you can do that from the Fiery's job log as seen here in Command WorkStation. You can select a single job, click on the Details button, and then see and print the important information for just that job. We're now including an optional registration procedure in the Manage License window in Command WorkStation and Web Tools. When you view the license that you have activated, you can now register your Fiery Options license activation code with EFI. This way, if you lose your license in the future for some reason and you need to retrieve it, you can contact EFI and we can return the license to the contact information that you registered in this window with. Instead of Fiery hot folders running as an application, we have reworked the Fiery hot folders so that it now runs as a service on your computer. While this doesn't change the overall hot folder functionality or behavior, because it runs as a service on your computer, it can start working when your computer starts up, but does not require you to log into your computer to start the application. This way, if you have shared folders with other clients from your computer, they can use the hot folder service on your computer without requiring you to log into your computer. This is ideal for Windows Server environments, for example, where the IT department doesn't want to deal with having to log into the Windows Server just to allow people to use the hot folders running on that particular Windows Server. And now I will turn the presentation over to Ling Wang, who can share with you some of the other ways that we're making print production easier for you.
Thank you, Mike. Hello there. So let's go into the integration with offline finishers. So you may already know that the integration available within Fiery Impose with the Duplo slitter cutter creaser finishers. Integration between Fiery Impose and Duplo 616, 646, and 746 models have enabled our customers to automate imposition layout of jobs ready for printing and finishing on those finisher models. As for the benefit of the feature, we have seen 70% reduction in job setup time. In addition to time saving, the automated nature of this workflow translates to less human errors and less waste. And best of all, the integration is really easy to set up. So you can automate imposition with Fiery job flow base or Fiery hot folders. So with one click, a new postcard job, in this example, can be created with the desired print settings, imposition layout, correct barcode and registration marks applied by the workflow. Fiery then sends the job to a Fiery-driven printer, so an operator, all he needs to do is just pick up the printed sheets and move to the finisher unit and hit Start. And then the finisher will suck in the sheets and scan the barcode on the sheet, and that barcode in turn will instruct the finisher to make setting adjustments so that the jobs can be cut and slit automatically. So with Fiery Command WorkStation 6.4, we have expanded our partnerships, and now Fiery Impose integrates with all the major slitter cutter creaser brands you may know worldwide. So here are the brands and the finisher models Fiery Impose integrates with, in addition to Duplo slitter cutter creaser models. They are Oshitec and 8335 BSC, 8336 BSC, Graphic Wizard PT3355 SCC Multi, Horizon Smart Slitter SMSL-100, MBM AeroCut, MBM Triumph Cutters, Morgana AutoCut Pro, Plugmatic AutoCut Pro, and Uchida AeroCut. So we are in the process of publishing how-to guides for all of these new integrations. There will be a how-to guide for each brand of finisher listed in the last slide. And each how-to guide contains pre-made Fiery Impose templates for the specific, each specific finisher brand and model, and a step-by-step instruction guide for a sample job setup. The Fiery Impose templates provide most commonly used job layouts, such as business cards or postcards layouts, the things that our customers produce day in and day out, and they're layouts available for different product sizes as well as media sizes. The corresponding layout should already be available or can be easily set up in the slitter cutter creaser finishers. So all the details will be found in the how-to guide. And the how-to guide will also include a device profile that you can load into Fiery Impose for each model. So in the screenshot here, on the first red box there, that you can see, because I've copied MBM AeroCut's device profile in the example to my client machine, MBM AeroCut is now available in the device type dropdown. The device profile gives Fiery Impose intelligence on what barcode type and registration marks are required by that model and where the marks should be placed at. So with the Fiery Impose templates from the how-to guide, you can start processing new jobs right away by simply pulling down the desired Fiery Impose template in the application user interface, or setting up a Fiery hot folders or Fiery job flow workflow with the Fiery Impose template. So next, let's look at what's new in Fiery Job Master. Auto tabs has been a very popular feature in Fiery Job Master in the past couple of years. And what it does is to enable you to quickly create tabs using PDF bookmarks. Because we recognize that the Adobe allow you to create more than one level bookmarks, so in this release we have expanded auto tab support to using PDF bookmarks of up to 6 levels. So there are controls added in Fiery Job Master to enable you to select one or more bookmark levels and convert them to tabs. And in that process, all the PDF bookmark text are added automatically as tab text. So we have a sort of a quick little demo in this slide that kind of runs through what that may look like. We're not going to go through every step, but I also want to cover that in addition to the tabs, we have added the option to insert bookmark text for a selected bookmark level as to this job as the text stamps. And certainly for any text and or image stamps you add using Fiery Job Master, you can modify the size, fonts, orientation, and location of the stamps. And for this feature, we actually worked with a beta customer, and this is a customer who produces very thick binder jobs by combining many PDF files and sections. And this new feature in Fiery Job Master has enabled this customer to reduce the prepress time dramatically. A job that used to take hours, if not more than a day, to prepare now can only take just seconds or sometimes minutes. And we hope you will see similar productivity gain in your tab production once you have a chance to try out this new release. And now, let me hand off the presentation to Giselle, who will introduce more exciting productivity gain that you will receive in this release.
Thanks, Ling. Hi, everyone. So I'm going to talk about some of the new features in Fiery Graphic Arts Package Premium Edition and the Fiery Productivity Package. The first feature I'm going to talk about is Fiery Spot Pro. So what is Spot Pro? Modeled after Spot On, Fiery Spot Pro is a brand new tool that provides advanced spot color management capabilities. So here's a quick overview of Spot Pro's key benefits. The first one is the ability to work seamlessly with designers to ensure brand color consistency. This allows you to import or export spot color libraries as ASE or Adobe Swatch Exchange or CXF format. This allows print service providers and designers to work from the same named colored set. And on this slide, you can see that I'm showing two swatches. The first one is on the left is a set of swatches in Adobe InDesign, and on the right is that same set of swatches in Spot Pro. The next benefit is simplified spot color management. This allows you to quickly and easily create new spot colors and custom spot color groups. You can also apply spot color edits to multiple media profiles simultaneously, and you can create custom swatch books to fit your desired media size. And I'm showing on this slide an example of a custom swatch book. The next benefit is the ability, having powerful tools to customize spot colors. This allows you to edit spot colors in device CMYK or device-independent color spaces, such as LAB or LCH. You can also optimize spot colors using a spectrophotometer. Previously, in order to optimize spot colors using a spectrophotometer, you needed a license for Fiery Color Profiler Suite. With Fiery Spot Pro, you no longer need a Fiery Color Profiler Suite license. That capability is built in. And finally, the ability to easily conform to color standards, be they industry standards or your own color standards in your shop. You can view gamut warnings across an entire spot color library or at the individual spot color level which is what we're showing on the slide. You can see it's a custom library, and if you look in the delta E column, you can see the yellow triangle or the green check shows that it's within the gamut tolerance. And you can customize that delta E tolerance and format to your desired standard. So Spot Pro is part of Fiery Graphic Arts Package Premium Edition only. At the moment, it is not part of the Fiery Productivity Package. Currently, it's only available for certain external Fiery servers. To see if your Fiery server is supported, you can follow the supported printers link below. For more information on Spot Pro in general, you can visit the Spot Pro page on EFI.com. Printelligence, an industry consultant, produced a product briefing on Spot Pro, which is an independent analysis of the features and benefits. And finally, if you'd like to get a hands-on look at Spot Pro, please take our interactive e-learning course on learning at EFI. So next I'll talk about Fiery ImageViewer. Command WorkStation 6.4 includes a new version of Fiery ImageViewer, which is the raster preview tool included with both Fiery Graphic Arts Package Premium Edition for external servers and the Fiery Productivity Package for embedded servers. We've added some user interface enhancements with this latest release. New icons allow more efficient access to key ImageViewer functions. Now, functions such as Save, Revert, Magnify, Split View, and Rotate are presented as icons in a central location. And if you look at the upper left corner of the screen, the box that's red highlighted, you can see where these icons appear in the ImageViewer user interface. And a new proof print icon makes it easy and quick to print soft proofs. And we've got an express video available at Learning at EFI that goes through all of these enhancements. And for users with engines that support specialty colors, such as white, clear, neon, or metallics, we've made it easier to view the specialty color separations in ImageViewer. You can change the color of the specialty color separation mask. This makes specialty colors such as white or clear more visible in ImageViewer. And you can change the opacity of the specialty color separation mask, and this button also changes the color of the mask. Note that all of these settings only apply to how the color appears in ImageViewer. We're not actually changing the opacity of the specialty color as it prints. So now we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about one of our most exciting new products, Fiery FreeForm Create. So what is Fiery FreeForm Create? It's a brand new, free, standalone variable data application that runs right on Mac or Windows clients. It allows you to add personalization to existing files right in the application with no additional VDP software required, and you can add variable text, images, or barcodes. You can send personalized files directly from Fiery FreeForm Create to a Fiery server for production, and possibly the most exciting part of it, it doesn't require access to Command WorkStation or a Fiery server to use FreeForm Create. So what types of files can you create? Well, pretty much anything you can think of that can be personalized, from newsletters to business cards, personalized calendars to direct mail postcards, diplomas, parking passes, product labels, you name it. If you can personalize it, FreeForm Create can do it. So if all of that sounds really interesting to you and you want to learn more, please join our upcoming webinar dedicated exclusively to FreeForm Create. It's a week from today, which is Wednesday, September 25th at 8 a.m. Pacific. You probably already got an email to register, but if you didn't, you can type in fiery.efi.com/FFC webinar to get registered, and we hope to have you join us for that next week. And now I will hand it back to Mike.
Thanks, Giselle. So to start wrapping up our presentation for today, these are a list of all of the resources that can help you take advantage of everything Command WorkStation 6.4 has to offer that we've talked about today. This webinar has been recorded, and we will be sending a link to that and this presentation as part of a thank you email later this week. EFI.com Command WorkStation TWS has a set of web pages that's also available to give you all of the information you need, including a link to the comprehensive What's New guide for Command WorkStation 6.4. And we also have a series of training videos available at learning.efi.com as well.
Thank you, Mike. We will start our Q&A session, so please submit any questions you may have through the chat window or the Q&A window. All of us are available to answer those questions. So give us a minute to collect those questions. Okay. Mike, is it possible when doing a search to be able to search across multiple servers, similar to how Command WorkStation versions before were able?
Yeah, that's a great question. So yeah, that was something that was possible to do in Command WorkStation 5. There was a way to be able to search for jobs across all the different connected servers. That's not a capability that we have right now in 6. It's something that we're looking at for the future. It's nice to get that feedback that was an important feature. So that's something that we can look at, including down the road.
Thank you. Is there a way to have the job log automatically exported to a file on an embedded server?
Yes, there is a way to be able to automatically export the job log. That is possible to do. There's a setting inside the Fiery configure, and we've had that for several code bases. I think all of the currently shipping products out there in the market have that today. But inside configure, you have the ability to configure to automatically send the job log once a week or at a certain period of time to be able to send that to a Windows file share. So yeah, that is possible to do inside Fiery configure.
Okay, thank you. There's another question. All the various apps you show after Command WorkStation, so I imagine it would be Impose, JobMaster, or FreeForm Create. How are they obtained? Which are paid and which are free?
Okay, so the products I covered, Fiery Impose and Fiery JobMaster. So Fiery Impose, so these are considered paid options. However, if you have certain external Fieries actually, excuse me, come with Fiery Impose already bundled, so you don't need to pay for them separately. But you can always add on additional licenses if you like. All those are available through our channel dealers. So we do have also on our website for what depends on what Fiery you have for Fiery JobMaster, whether it is available for the Fiery you have. So I think in the follow-up Q&A we can provide more information on the link location and also how to buy information.
Yeah, I'd like to show something related to that information. We are on EFI.com website. I'm not sharing. I'm going to share in a second. On our website, if you go to support and downloads, and there is access to Fiery free software trials, you can see your specific Fiery. You pick a brand and an engine model, and it will tell you if this specific Fiery supports all these applications or software options through Command WorkStation. And some of them you can try for free for 30 days. So if it says here, for example, that Fiery Impose and Fiery JobMaster are supported, you can go scrolling down, you can access to the form where you can request a free trial version for Impose or JobMaster or Graphic Arts Package Premium Edition and JobFlow. Talking about apps, also we talked about Fiery FreeForm Create.
And Fiery FreeForm Create is completely free. You can go to www.efi.com/freeformcreate and get the instructions on how to download the app. There's a couple of different ways to get it, depending on what works well with your workflow. So Veronica's showing that. So here, if you just click on the blue Get FreeForm Create button, you can see your option is to either download through Fiery Software Manager if you're already using that, or if you're not using Fiery Software Manager or you don't want to use Fiery Software Manager, we make a standalone download available, but all of that is free.
And let me add on, I did cover some of the automation workflow options. So Fiery hot folders are usually, they are available already out of the box, so you don't need to pay extra for it. And a Fiery job flow, there's actually a free version called Fiery job flow base, and it will work perfectly fine with the Fiery impose templates, so you can definitely use the free version to automate. And Fiery job flow is a paid option that gives you a lot more kind of automation capabilities through pissed-up action, through just a very fancy software that you can definitely check out. And I believe we have trial also available on our website. So we will share that information as well.
A question for Giselle. When upgrading, will personalized settings transfer over automatically, or do they need to be imported manually? I think it's a question for Mike. Personalized settings of Command WorkStation?
Yes. So if you have Command WorkStation and you've customized it for the way that you want it to work for yourself with your custom columns or toolbars or what have you, if you upgrade your Command WorkStation, all of those settings should stay with you. But one of the features that we added when I talked about the share Command WorkStation settings is now when you with this version of Command WorkStation 6.4, when you install it and you customize it, you can save it out and share it with other folks who are installing Command WorkStations themselves, and they can take all of your column sets and all of your customizations as well. But if you're doing an upgrade, the settings should persist.
Very good. Is there an executable 6.4 for a client PC on EFI website instead of doing an upgrade for an older version of Command WorkStation? I can answer that. Yes, we do have a way for you to access to a standalone executable. I can show you on EFI.com. If you go to downloads and you go to show all downloads, after registering, okay, sorry, I want to make it very quick. You enter the download center. Then you click on Application, Software, and Tools tab, and then go to Fiery Command WorkStation package, and you will be able to download of all these versions, and even the latest one, which is the 6.4.0321.
So yeah, one thing to note about that, if you look at that particular screen, if you can stay on that screen for a second there, yeah. Veronica, the Command WorkStation version 6.4.0261, I think that was the version that we released that you automatically would get notified for. Mm-hmm. Every month we do post an updated version of Command WorkStation with very minor bug fixes here and there that have been identified, and we always post those here in the download center as well. So it is possible to download those as well. So generally on a monthly basis, we have the version with minor fixes in it as well.
Great. A question for Ling. How can I create a nest or tiled jobs? I need to better control the position and spacing of tiles for output.
I think that's XF question.
It's XF.
Yeah.
It sounds like wide format.
Yes.
So it's not applicable here. I think it's more for white format. So we do have a solution for that, and just call the job editor. Perhaps we can share more, in the FAQ.
Yeah, we'll reply to you after the session. Are there any questions? Let me see.
There was one more question asking about how many of the features are in Fiery XF. Mm-hmm. So if we want to go back to that slide where we show the new features on the PowerPoint.
Sorry?
Do we, the slide with all the new features where we highlight the ones in yellow?
Yes, here it is.
Correct.
Yeah, so if you look at the features that are also available for Fiery XF are the features that are highlighted in yellow here.
Yes. Those are applicable for when connecting to XF printers. I have a question. Is there a way to view the settings of a saved BDP master?
Ooh, so it depends. Depends on what kinds of settings you're talking about. So if you, and it also depends if we're talking about a master in FreeForm Create, or whether we're talking about a master that you've created using our legacy FreeForm workflow. Assuming that you want to see the settings of a master created using your legacy FreeForm workflow, you just click on that job in Job Properties. When you send a combined master and variable file from FreeForm Create to the Fiery, it's only appearing in the Fiery as one job, so the job properties you'd adjust there would be for the combined master and variable job. Hopefully that answered your question. If it didn't,
join us next week.
Yeah.
And let me just add on a little bit to that as well. But if you're asking the question about the FreeForm jobs we had before using FreeForm Create, as how we use this in the traditional model, if your FreeForm master was the job was still in the whole queue someplace, then you'll be able to look in the job properties. However, if that wasn't there and you only had the resource in the VDP resource manager, it's not possible. There's not a way that I know of being able to look at the job properties for the job that is just existing in the actual VDP resources.
Can I turn off auto reconnect, Mike?
Yes, great question. Yes, you do have the ability to turn off auto reconnect. There's an option, I believe it's in the preferences, to be able to do that. Speaking, actually, that's a good question about some of the new features that we have. We realized that these are, I think, useful for most people, but I've talked to a couple of customers where in some of the new features may not be applicable. So like there is a way to, the Fiery Health Monitor is possible to turn that off. The completed view is possible to disable that in a particular instance as well. We think that there's a lot of value and it's a very good thing to be able to do that, but those features it is possible to turn those features off.
Good.
Yep.
I think we reached the end. So we are going to send this PowerPoint and this recording in a follow-up email later this week. That was a question on the chat window.
I see another question here.
Okay.
So there's a question here about the quick view cannot display the color choice, color grayscale, which used to be possible to do, is not possible to do right now. This has not been addressed in 6.4. We know that's important, and I'm trying to work on a solution for that for the future, but I don't have that yet. It's complicated why that isn't there. I want it to be there. We will get that back at some point.
Okay. There is another question about FreeForm Create. We can't get FreeForm Create to log on to the servers to send jobs. Do you have any tips for this?
I do, actually. So there's a couple of things that you need to have set up on your Fiery server to be able to send jobs from FreeForm Create. The first one is you need to make sure you have a password on your Fiery Command WorkStation on the Fiery server. We allow you to have a blank password on the Fiery server, but FreeForm Create does not. Because of certain authentication, it requires you have a password. So that might be one of the issues. Another issue might be because you may not have Fiery API installed on your server. That's another requirement that FreeForm Create has. I would check both of those things, and then if you're still having an issue with getting connected, post in the FreeForm Create group on EFI Communities, and we'll try to help you out.
Just to give another plug for EFI Communities that I covered a little bit earlier, it is a great environment. It's a great active space for a whole lot of questions, a whole lot of people. There's a lot of questions that are asked and answered there, and it is a very good forum for trying to go to the next step level on the Fiery.
Good. Yeah, and the follow-up question from the audience is: does it have to be the admin password user?
I don't know that it has to be the admin password. I'm honestly not sure if any of the logins would work. I think.
So I will say that next week when we have our webinar on FreeForm Create, yes, we will have the answer to that question.
We will.
For you next week.
We will. Conveniently.
We don't know right now.
No, that's a good question.
Yes. Okay. we can, I think, wrap it up. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending the session today, and we look forward to see you tomorrow, next week as well, and have a great day, you all.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.